Cold case breaks open after 4 decades. Person of interest named in 1975 disappearance of 2 young girls that shocked Washington, D.C. Sheila Lyon, age 12 and 10, vanished without a trace at a shopping center in Montgomery County, Maryland, in March 1975. Their father, John Lyon, was a well-known radio personality. Police have identified a registered sex offender who is currently behind bars as a person of interest. They believe he was in the area at the time of their disappearance. Detectives have made a break in the 39-year-old cold case disappearance of 2 young girls that shocked Washington, D.C. and the nation. Police say they have identified a convicted sex offender who is currently in prison as a possible suspect in the 1975 kidnapping of Sheila and Catherine Lyon. The girls, age 12 and 10, were the daughters of a popular radio personality. They vanished without a trace as they walked to get pizza in their quiet suburban neighborhood. The chilling case gained national attention and rattled upscale Montgomery County, Maryland, outside Washington. Catherine and Sheila's father, John Lyon, used his high profile to plead for tips and assistance, but his daughters were never found and no killer was ever identified. Mr. and Mrs. Lyons are still alive and in their 70s. They have not yet commented on the development in their daughter's case. Cold case detectives have named a convicted child sex offender who is currently in prison and had traveled extensively throughout the United States as a person of interest in the case. The Washington Post reports that police have reason to believe the sex offender was in Montgomery County at the time of the girls' disappearance and that he was familiar with the area. "It's the biggest break we've had in quite some time in the case," Captain Marcus Jones, the commander of Montgomery's Major Crimes Division, told the Post. Detectives plan a press conference for Tuesday morning to identify the person of interest and renew their pleas for tips about the girls' disappearance. They are specifically interested in speaking to anyone who will be able to give them details about the sex offender's whereabouts in the time leading up to and shortly after March 25, 1975, according to the Post. Sheila and Catherine were on spring break when they decided to walk a mile from their home to the nearby Wheaton Plaza shopping center to eat pizza and see the Easter display. They left at 11 a.m. Their mother Mary Lyon told them to be home by 4 p.m. Mrs. Lyon later said that in the quiet Washington suburb, it was common to let children go to the shopping center alone. As the Montgomery County Gazette put it years later, it was a simpler time when everyone looked out for everyone else's children. The massive investigation that followed the girls' disappearance brought in countless tips and widespread national and local media coverage. Potential clues were found, but later discounted. People were brought in for questioning, but later released without charge. Witnesses said they saw an older man in a suit with a briefcase and a tape recorder talking to the girls, though he was never found. However, the tip resulted in a widely circulated police sketch drawing of a possible suspect. Other witnesses said they saw the girls walking home by themselves. Detectives never found evidence of what happened to Catherine and Sheila or who was responsible. Their disappearance profoundly changed the Lyon family. Mr. Lyon became a victim's advocate in Montgomery County and held counsel other families who had lost loved ones. The girl's brother, who was 15 at the time they vanished, became a homicide detective when he grew up.